All right, you know what time it is. Live from the Bare Muscle Garage, it's time for Fit Crew. What do we got in store for you today? Let's go ahead and share this on screen. So for today's workout, we've got a nice chipper to really kick things out for you here. We've got 10 bar facing burpees, 30 overhead squats, 10 bar facing burpees, 20 hang power snatches, then 10 bar facing burpees, 10 squat snatches. And we may be looking at this thinking, hey, you know what? These movements seem kind of intimidating to me, kind of technical. Don't worry, guys. As always, we're going to break things down. We're going to warm up really well, and we're going to go through all the options that will allow you to do this workout or your version of it right where you are, using what you have and doing what you can. But let's go ahead and start this general warm up. Here we go. Let's get some arm circles going back, arm circles back. And as you know, my name is Coach Chris. I am a level 3 CrossFit trainer, which means I've logged thousands of hours over many years, helping many people just like you live their best life through health and fitness. Let's move on to arms across the chest. Hug yourself, love yourself. One of the ways I've been privileged to help you guys live your best life is through the On Track program. And when you get on track, especially when you go On Track Unlimited, then you get access to the full program, including these On Track sheets that we get sent at the beginning of the week, help us to know exactly what's in store for us, and all the resources that help us to dive deep and dig into this program. So if you are on track, what do you appreciate about these sheets? Let's go ahead and move on to the wrist wave here. And while we're doing the wrist wave, let's hear from Pippi. Go ahead, say your name, where you're from, and what do you appreciate about these on track sheets?
I'm Tammy from South Florida, and I love the online sheets. I love that we get access to the videos because I never feel like I'm doing a workout by myself because I get to do it with the broadcast crew. But a special treat is when I get to get together with you and Christine in the Bare Muscle Garage. It's super exciting when we get together to do the workouts, especially that Throwdown Tuesday, because we feed off each other's energy and just keep each other going, and it's just super fun. So I say, hey, grab your friends and do it together.
And Throwdown Tuesday is definitely a highlight of my week as well. So thank you so much, Pippi. And let's go ahead and move on to some high knees. High knees into chest, or if it works better, we can do some high elbows like this. And while we're doing this, let's hear from Betty Boop. Go ahead and say your name, where you're from, and how do these on track sheets help you to stay on track?
Yeah, I really love the on track sheets. I like the way you have it all color coded because they all mean something different. I like them also because it lets me know what I'm getting into for the week. I also really like the Throwdown Tuesday because it allows you to get together with friends and work out as a team, and you don't want to disappoint your team, so you really give it that extra oomph. So I love those things.
And Throwdown Tuesday, once again, brings the Fit Crew family together and gives you that extra motivation that Betty Boop brought out. So thank you so much, Betty Boop, for being an awesome team player. Let's go ahead and move on to some calf raises. Up on the toe, back on the heel, up on the toe, back on the heel. Or if it works better, we could do some wrist extensions like this. And while we're doing this, let's hear from Twin One. Go ahead, say your name, where you're from, and how do these on track sheets help you to stay on track?
Hi, I'm Denise. I'm in New York. Definitely love the on-track sheets. They keep me well informed. But one of the things I like is how it helps me prepare for the Throwdown Tuesday. I have all the information ahead of time, so when I join for group WOD, I'm ready to go. And also sometimes I mean, schedules change, so I can't make the live class that coach posts on for the Throwdown Tuesday. So I'll do it another day or another time with another group of friends that, you know, we text each other, let's get together, let's do this Throwdown Tuesday, even if it's on the weekend. So I really like that well prepared sheet.
Hey, Throwdown Tuesday over the weekend, there is nothing wrong with that. And that is the flexibility we get with these sheets. So thank you so much, Twin One, for bringing that out. Let's move on to some jumping jacks, or we could do some stepping jacks if we want low impact. And so getting on track, especially on track unlimited, gives us access to the full program. We get these sheets, we get the full program, 6 workouts a week, more community, more results. So if any of this sounds interesting to you, please click that link that's in this video, or feel free to message me directly for details. Let's go ahead and take a break from this warm-up, guys, and we're going to move on to the activation phase, which is where we're going to do a couple of different moves that are going to help us to get specifically ready for today's workout. So the first thing that we're going to do is the pigeon, and let's go ahead and have Twin One demonstrate the pigeon for us. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then that pigeon is going to look like this. So let's all join in here and let's sink into the pigeon on this side. So a couple things to keep in mind. We are laying face down. We've got the one leg up and across the chest, other leg back, and we're sinking into this pose here, which opens up the hips and helps us to improve our squat positioning, which we will be doing a good amount of squats today. And let's go ahead and switch sides here. So we've got the other leg up and across the chest, other leg back. And this pigeon is one of the most important activations that we do. It activates the glutes, relieves issues that might be going on with the IT band, and overall promotes, like we said, squat positioning. We always talk about chest up, shoulders back, knees out to the side. And that is what we are actively improving here. Next, we're going to do some bird dogs. And let's go ahead and have Pippi demonstrate 2 bird dogs for us. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then those bird dogs are going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 bird dogs together. So a couple things to keep in mind. We're on hands and knees, and we're going to raise opposite arm, opposite leg, and we're going to hold the top there for about 2 seconds before switching sides. Now, it could be that doing this off hands and knees is a bit hard on those joints, in which case we may choose to do the dead bug. Let's have Pippi demonstrate a couple reps here. So we're going to be laying on our back with those arms up, knees up, and then we're going to lower opposite arm, opposite leg. And so both good choices here, similar benefit. Good job on these bird dogs or dead bugs, if that's what we choose to do. Next, we're going to do some walk the floors. And let's go ahead and have Twin One demonstrate 1 walk the floor for us. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then that walk the floor is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 5 walk the floors together. So a couple things to keep in mind. We're going to reach down, touch those toes, and we're going to walk all the way out to that plank position, get that chest on the ground, and then we're going to take a deep breath in and raise those hips first as we get all the way back up. Now, it could be that getting all the way down is a challenge, in which case we could do it down to the plank. Let's have Twin One demonstrate just down to the plank position, and then get all the way back up. Or it could be that we choose to do this off of an incline, and that could be off a counter or a sofa, but we get both feet up against the object, take a couple steps back, then a couple steps forward, and then we clap overhead. But lots of options here on these walk the floors. Next, we're going to do some air squats, and let's go ahead and have Pippi demonstrate 2 air squats for us. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then those air squats are going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 air squats together. So a couple things to keep in mind. We're going to have those feet just about shoulder width apart. We're going to initiate by sending those hips back and down, pushing those knees out to the side throughout the movement until we get all the way down, hips below the knees, and then we drive through those feet until we get to a fully standing position with those shoulders back at the top. Now, it could be that getting those hips all the way down below the knees is a challenge for us, in which case we could do some assisted squats. Let's have Betty Boop demonstrate a couple reps here. This could be with a chair or a footstool or a medicine ball, whatever target for assistance we need until we get all the way back. And then with time and with consistency in this program, we can use lower and lower targets for assistance until we get all the way down. But good job on these air squats. Next, what I'd like everyone to do is let's go ahead and grab a broomstick or a mop or a PVC pipe. We always go super light before we go heavy. Plus, we're about to do some extra shoulder mobility right now. So we don't want anything heavier than a broomstick for now. So with this broomstick in hand, we're going to do some pass-throughs. And let's go ahead and have Pippi demonstrate 2 pass-throughs for us. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then those pass-throughs are going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 pass-throughs together. So a couple things to keep in mind. We've got a nice wide grip on that broomstick, and we're going to pull it up and over all the way around, touching that lower back in the back, belly button in the front. And Betty Boop knows the secret to a good pass-through is the pass-through smile, which relaxes the muscles and helps us to have a nice fluid range of motion. And so good job here on these pass-throughs. Next, we're going to do some snatch grip deadlifts. And let's go ahead and have twin 1 demonstrate 2 first. Before that, how are we holding this thing? We're doing the hook grip. So we've got the thumb wrapped around. Fingers are over the thumb, which gives us a better grip on that bar. And we have a nice wide grip for the snatch. And let's go ahead and see 2 snatch grip deadlifts. And if we're doing this from the seated position with the hook grip, of course, those snatch grip deadlifts are going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 snatch grip deadlifts together. So a couple things to keep in mind. With the snatch grip deadlift, those feet are going to be close together underneath the hips. And at the start of the deadlift, those hips are going to be super low, chest is up, shoulders back, and we're looking straight ahead. And we're going to take a deep breath in and drive the ground away, getting to a fully standing position with those shoulders back at the top. And then, of course, we want to brace and then keep that bar close on the way back down as well. And so good job here on the snatch grip deadlifts. And finally, in the activation phase, we're going to do some snatch high pulls. And let's go ahead and have twin 1 demonstrate 2 reps of the snatch high pull for us. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then the snatch high pull is going to look like this. So let's all join in and do 10 snatch high pulls together. So a couple things to keep in mind. This is going to start the same exact way as that snatch grip deadlift, except now we're going to add some speed past the knees. As soon as that bar reaches the knees, we are going to explode with the hips and shrug, getting those elbows high and outside like a scarecrow at the top. We're keeping the elbows above the broomstick at the top of the movement, which promotes a good bar path for the snatch that we're going to be doing later. And so good job here on the snatch high pull. Well, that is it for the activation phase. Now we're going to move on to the movement prep, which is where we're going to practice specifically the 4 moves that we're doing in today's workout. The first move is bar facing burpees. And to demonstrate, let's go ahead and have Pippi demonstrate 2 reps of the bar facing burpee for us. That was 1. After hopping over, that is 2. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then if we have a chair that swivels, what I'd like us to do is to do the first rep facing left, and we hit that burpee. Then after we turn, that's 1. Hit the next one facing right, hit that burpee. After we turn, back left, that's 2. But if we don't have a chair that swivels, then we could just do all reps in place like this. Hitting that reach and reach. So let's all join in here and let's do 6 bar facing burpees. Now it could be that getting all the way to the ground is a bit of a challenge for us, in which case we have a couple options. We could do the burpee down to the plank position, and let's go ahead and have Pippi demonstrate a couple reps like that, where we get our hands down and we either jump or step back to the plank and then back up. And then we can hop or step over the bar there. Or it could be that we need to do the burpee off of an incline. And let's go ahead and have Betty Boop demonstrate some incline burpees here. If we could perhaps turn the camera angle a little bit. But we could do this off of an inclined surface, such as a counter or a sofa or whatever the case, where we have our feet up against the surface, then we take a couple steps back. Optionally, we have a push-up where we can get our chest to the object, and then we clap overhead. But yes, step back, then with or without a push-up, step back forward and clap overhead. But lots of options here on these burpees. And now we're going to go over the bar movements that we're doing today. The first move is going to be the overhead squat. So let's go ahead and grab that broomstick and let's practice the overhead squat. Let's have Twin 1 demonstrate 2 reps of the overhead squat. And let's hold the bottom of the second rep here. And we need to see a couple key things. No matter how long we've been doing this program, we need to see all of this if we're even thinking about adding weight later. Notice how Twin 1 is able to reach the right depth without assistance, getting the hips below the knees. Arms are locked out, no bend in the arm whatsoever. And the broomstick is in the right position, right over her ponytail in the back of her head. Not far forward, not too far back either. If any of those things are not happening, then we're not going heavier than a broomstick for today. And let's go ahead and stand that up. Awesome control there, holding that. What a good sport. If we are doing this from the seated position, then the overhead squat is going to be a behind the neck press like this. So let's all join in and let's do 10 overhead squats together. So a couple things to keep in mind. We've got this broomstick overhead, and we are initiating by sending those hips back and down, pushing the knees out to the side. But additionally, we are controlling that broomstick where it needs to be. We are actively pulling back on that broomstick as we're squatting down in order to keep it in the right position, keeping the arm locked out and keeping it over the back of the head there. If we're struggling with any portion of that, then let's just work on the overhead squat position with the broomstick for today. And we're still going to have a great workout and benefit from that. But good job on the overhead squat. The next move we're doing with the barbell is the hang power snatch. And let's go ahead and have twin one demonstrate 2 reps of the hang power snatch for us. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then the hang power snatch is going to look like this. So let's all join in and let's do 10 reps of the hang power snatch together. So a couple things to keep in mind. We've got that hook grip on the bar, and we're keeping that chest nice and upright there, but we are dipping by sending those hips back, keeping the chest up, shoulders back, and then we are jumping, punching under, and then standing to finish. And so this is going basically from the knees to overhead in one smooth motion. And notice how we're keeping it close to the body. Remember how we were doing that snatch high pull before, getting the elbows high and outside? That's what we're doing here before flipping and then punching that broomstick back. And so good job on the hang power snatch. And then the last move we're doing at the barbell today is the squat snatch. And let's go ahead and have twin one demonstrate 2 reps of the squat snatch for us. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then we're just taking that snatch from lower down to the feet positioning, and then boom, punching that out overhead. So let's all join in here and let's do 10 squat snatches with the broomstick. So the squat snatch is basically that overhead squat, except we are starting from the ground. And so we're in that snatch grip deadlift position. And then we are fully extending those hips, hitting a nice big jump, and we're punching into the bottom of the overhead squat and then standing back up to finish. And very important that we respect what's called the core to extremity principle here, meaning legs first, then arms. So we're starting low with that broomstick, and then we are hitting a nice big jump there, doing nothing with the arms until we hit that air. And then once we hit that air, that's when, boom, we're punching down as fast as we can into the bottom of that overhead squat. And then, of course, making sure that we stand to finish. And so good job here on the squat snatch. Well, now it's ramp up time. If you've been doing this program long enough to start earning badges and you like to add some weight to do either the scaled, intermediate, or RX weight, then let's start to gradually add some weight, doing about 3 to 5 practice reps of each move at a time. The overhead squat, the hang power snatch, and the squat snatch. until we get to the weight that we want to use for today's workout. But let's keep in mind what we said about that overhead squat. No matter how long we've been doing this program, no matter how many badges we have, if we are still struggling with any part of that overhead squat positioning, let's keep that broomstick for today. We're still going to get a great workout working on our form and our mobility with that broomstick, as opposed to changing the movements and just going heavy for the sake of it. And most definitely, if we have not earned our first badge yet, we are not adding weight. Period. It's very important that we have the right form and consistency with all of our habits, as evidenced by earning that badge, before we've earned the right to add or reintroduce intensity, such as by adding weight or going fast. And whether we're adding weight or not, let's pay close attention to the following checklist. Number 1, please make sure your device is fully charged or plugged in so we can get through this whole workout without losing you. Number 2, let's grab some water. Let's take a sip. And let's make sure we got our water nearby so we can take a sip as needed all throughout the workout. Number 3, I'm going to give everyone a 3, 2, 1, go countdown. And that's how you can synchronize your timer with mine if you choose to use one. Number 4, music. Super important. We want some fight songs that are going to help us to focus and really bring our A game to get this done within the target window. And the great thing is, you don't have to listen to my music. You can listen to your music. You can blast your music as loud as you want, as long as you can still hear me helping you throughout the workout. And lastly, how are we keeping track of these rounds? This is what we call a chipper style workout. We're starting from the top, working our way down. And so we may think, hey, it's pretty easy to keep track of where I am. But experience has shown it's still helpful to have some type of system to help us know where we are without getting lost. And the best way is having the workout written down close by. So if you're a teacher's pet like Pippi, first to the screen, ready digitally for the workout today, we've got Mighty Mouse with the whiteboard award, and we've got Twin One with the multiple color award, and then Betty Boop, as always, with the whiteboard art award. That's how she's feeling right now, and hopefully after the workout as well. Let's go ahead and get a teacher's pet picture just to show how prepared you are. Teacher's pet picture in 3, 2, 1. Awesome. I'm going to bring the workout back on screen one more time, and then we'll get going. So in just about a minute, we're going to start this timer, and we're about to do this chipper workout here. 10 bar facing burpees, 30 overhead squats, 10 bar facing burpees, 20 hang power snatches, and then 10 bar facing burpees, 10 squat snatches. So we are not adding weight unless we can own that overhead squat position. And of course, unless we've been earning badges. Very important that we respect the process here, adding the weight after we've earned it. If we are adding weight, then the stimulus we're going for today is a weight that we can get through at least good sets of 10 overhead squats in a row without putting the bar down. So what's a weight that I can do at least 10 overhead squats in a row, maintaining that good form? That's hopefully the weight that we've worked up to here. We have time for you to take off some weight right now if needed. And let's remember our options on the burpees as well. We can do the burpee all the way down to the ground, or if needed, we can do the burpee just down to the plank, those kickback burpees, and we can do those burpees off of the incline surface as well. So your score is going to be the time it takes you to get through this chipper of 30 overhead squats, 20 hang power snatches, and then 10 squat snatches with 10 bar facing burpees before each of the barbell sets. So if you are good to go, give me a thumbs up over here and we'll get this started. I'm going to give us a 10-second countdown. And then I'm going to highlight Hippie to get us going. So here we go, guys. 10 bar-facing burpees, 30 overhead squats, and then it's all downhill from there. Starting in 10 seconds. Let's get ready. 3, 2, 1, go. And we are off. And we are on these bar-facing burpees, getting that chest all the way to the ground, leading with the hips on the way up. So we don't want to snake up these burpees here, guys. We hit the ground, take a deep breath in, brace that core on the way up. If we keep snaking and worming burpees, then our lower back is going to feel it. So let's really make sure if we need to step out of each rep there, then so be it. But good form is always the goal. And if we need to do it down to the plank, just like we see Betty Boop doing here, so lots of progress. We've gone from an incline surface to doing burpees down to the plank. That's what we love to see. We're challenging ourselves just a little bit more each and every time. And then after 10 of these burpees, we're going to move on to the overhead squats, hopefully hitting at least a good set of 10 to maybe 15 out the gate. I kind of like bigger sets than little sets. So I like a 15-10-5 for this set of 30 here on the overhead squats. Well, we got twin 1 power snatching that bar up. And then deep breath in before each squat. We want to brace that core, hit that depth, stand that back up. And we've got Hippie using an appropriate weight here, getting all the way down, full depth, standing that up. Big breath each time, bracing that core. And we got Betty Boop wisely using a broomstick, getting much better on this, but still working on the depth of the overhead squat. So love to see everyone's good choices here. But twin 1 getting low, standing that up, hitting big sets of these overhead squats. Pippi as well, getting low, standing it up. And notice how the overhead squat requires full body musculature. So we're squatting, but we're also punching up. We're also pulling back. Everything firing on all cylinders. Twin 1 with a strategic break, and then about to hit another chunk out of this set of 30 on the overhead squats. Betty Boop as well, going nice and steady through this big set here. Mighty Mouse on these overhead squats, the behind the neck press. And so nice work here, guys. Everyone moving nice and steady through this set of overhead squats. Taking off another big chunk here. Twin 1 taking another strategic break, and then just one more set left. Pippi as well taking a strategic break here. But it looks like Mighty Mouse powering all the way through. Betty Boop powered all the way through. About to move on to the burpees right before this set of hang power snatches. But love to see it here, guys. Twin 1 getting low, standing it up. Hippie done with the overhead squats. Moving on to this set of burpees. And so far, everyone here is on track to finish within today's target window. And the target window is the best guide to help us know if we're making the right choices. And how do we use the target window? Well, as we know, each workout has lots of different options in terms of weights and movements. And as we earn badges, we mix and match options from each level, whether it's RX, intermediate, or scaled. Hey, you know what? Maybe we can use the RX weight on a given workout, but maybe we scale one of the movements or whatever combination of options needed that will help us to perform and finish within the target window. Not too much over, not too much under, right in the sweet spot. And that's how we have the intended effect of the workout of the day. So we are on this here, guys, making our way down. Done with these burpees, about to move on to some hang power snatches. Twin one, taking a breath, getting that bar up into the hang position. So notice how we get that into the hang position first. Then, boom, we go to town cycling that bar. So slight difference there. We don't want to snatch that bar directly from the ground, not in this particular instance, because we're doing hang power snatches. So if we choose to put the bar down at some point, let's just remember anytime we pick the bar up in this set of hang power snatches, let's get to that full extension and lock that out before cycling that bar on these hang power snatches. But nice work here. Boom, hitting that hang power snatch, hitting that jump, hitting that punch. Jumping, punching under. Twin one, taking a strategic break. And on a set of 20 here, I kind of like a 10-6-4 strategy to get through it. Or maybe we might choose to do a 9-7-4. But the principle here, big chunk, then little chunk. And that's what helps us to get through this set as efficiently as possible. So Pippi holding onto that bar, about to take a strategic break. Quick breather. Twin one going to town. Hitting that jump, hitting that punch under. Holding on to that hook grip. Jump, punch under, stand to finish. Another quick strategic break before finishing off the set of 20. So nice breathing, good pace here, guys. Making our way through this. And then after this set of 20 hang power snatches, we are then moving on to the last set of burpees. Twin one on these burpees, Pippi on these burpees. Betty Boop about to join in on these burpees. So we are racing to that last bar here. Always super exciting. Everyone giving it their all. And we are entering into the target window for today. Everyone's still in the sweet spot here. So we are moving, doing what we got to do, finishing off these burpees, about to enter this last set on the bar, which is the squat snatches. So starting from the ground, hitting that jump, punching into the overhead squat 10 times. And we got Mighty Mouse on this last bar. Snatching to the finish. We got Twin one about to snatch to the finish here. Pippi as well. Getting into position. So hitting that jump. Punch under, stand. 10 at a 10 in this last set here. So it could be we choose to do one at a time, taking a quick breath in between. Hitting that jump.
Done.
Punching all the way down. Mighty Mouse across the finish line. And so Mighty Mouse on that victory dance. Betty Boop racing to the finish toward that victory dance. Nice work here, guys. We got that bar. We're hitting that jump. We're hitting that punch under. Twin one with the strategic break, and then just a couple reps to go. Pippi with the strategic break here, picking up that bar again. Betty Boop across the finish line. And we got twin one. Almost there. Pippi almost there. And Pippi across the finish line. Twin one. Boom, hitting that punch, standing that up, and twin one across the finish line. All right, as exciting as that was, now we're at the best part of the workout, which is the cool down stretch. This stretch is super important to help us fight soreness, increase flexibility, so we can come back day after day, staying consistent and committed. So the first stretch that we're going to do today is the child's pose. And that's going to be where we get those arms out in front of us, hips back, and we are sinking into this. And this is a super good stretch for the upper body, for the lats. And bonus points, I'd like to challenge you if you could get your arms up on an elevated surface like a chair or something like that. So go like this. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then we're going to get those arms up and pull back like this. And while we're doing this, let's reflect on the workout. Let's do some high-low buffalo. So, high. What is one thing you feel you did well in today's workout? Low. What is something you want to do better the next time it shows up? And buffalo. What is something that surprised you about today's workout? While we're thinking about that, let's switch here. Let's go from the child's pose into the puppy dog. So we're shifting the hips over the knees, chest into the ground. And while we're doing this, let's hear from Pippi. And if we're doing this from the seated position, we're going to get the hands down to the shoulder blades like this. But what is your high-low buffalo, Pippi?
My high was that I got to use weight. I'm not at my home with my weights, so I was unsure about being able to use the weights that they have here, the barbells here, but it worked out, so I was super happy about that. Low was just, burpees, but always working on, like you said, making sure the hips don't drop, so just trying to concentrate on that, but I can always improve on that. And buffalo was that, the lower weight that I thought I might be able to use, they didn't have it. So I was like, okay, I'll just try with the weight. And so I was able to use it for the WOD. So I was super happy about that. And that was surprising and really good.
And that just goes to show, hey, no matter where we are or what we're doing, we can get this work in using what we have, doing what we can. And so thank you for staying active even while you're away. And let's go ahead and switch into thread the needle. So we got one arm forward, other arm through, and we're sinking into this like this. And while we're doing this, let's hear from twin one. And if we're doing this from the seated position, we're getting the one arm across the chest and pulling back like this. But what is your high-low buffalo, twin one?
So my high were the overhead squats, the low was the squat snatch, and the buffalo was, I felt like I was able to get through the workout a little faster than what I thought.
And that's how this goes. Sometimes when we go in managing our expectations, then we surprise ourselves. But that comes down to you picking the right weight and moving at a good pace. And let's go ahead and thread the needle on the other side. So we got the other arm forward, other arm through, and we are sinking into this like this. And while we're doing this, let's hear from Mighty Mouse. And if we're doing this from the seated position, we're getting the other arm across the chest and pulling back like this. But what is your high-low buffalo, Mighty Mouse?
My high was the overhead snatch, and my low, I didn't have a low, but the buffalo was doing the different movements in each session, and then still doing the bar facing burpees. So the round of 30 was a challenge, but I broke it down. But overall, it was a good workout.
And that's always the steps to success. Hey, how am I breaking this up, pacing this the right way? Which for you is usually just go, go, go. But I can see that you picked a challenging weight, which made you think today, which is awesome. That's what we want to see. And so good job, Mighty Mouse. Well, that's our WOD, that's our stretch, that's our high-low buffalo. You know what we need to do now. Does this count if we don't take this selfie? Let's flex on the camera, guys. And let's take this sweaty selfie. Sweaty selfie in 3, 2, 1. And crazy face. And let's put the fists in the middle for the cheer. On 3, 2 claps. Fit crew. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Fit crew.
Fit crew.
Fit crew. Thank you guys so much. If you enjoy this program, then please give this channel a subscribe, a like, and a share. Thank you very much, and see you next time.